Night 15 in the Stanley Cup playoffs finished. Does Boston get a 2-0 lead? Does Lightning strike to even up the series? Do they do it in overtime fashion? Let's be honest. Does Vegas, just walk all over the Canucks? Or did the Canucks show up and get this series tied? We'll talk about it. Plus, we have a trade to announce right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is January. Wow. We wish it was January 2020, right? It is August 25th, 2020, a night 15 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Two good games we got going on this day, and we'll talk about that tonight here on the After Dark. This is your live interactive post game, so do us a favor. If you want to be part of the show, join us in the chat with fellow hockey fans and the YouTube chat on the page or the app. You can also follow us on the social. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course, Discord. Teal Town USA. And of course, for more Sharks content, you can always hit us up at tealtownusa.com. Do I want this year over with? Abso-freaking-lutely. Felix, you're absolutely right. Eric's brain wants this year to be over with. Yeah, and so does my brain wants to go to sleep. But we're here for you, and we want to talk about this game and the earlier game as well. So we'll have fun with that. Just another Randy G. Vegas lost. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh man, it's so crazy. Vegas thought they were going to come back after being down 3 goals. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. I mean, really, Vegas? Have you come back from 3 goals down? No, I'm not going to get the Vegas trolls going because then all hell will break loose for you. Jersey of the night. We'll get that out of the way before we talk about this game. Yes, this is from 2003-04. Replica, when replicas were nice. But this one, signed by the 03-04 San Jose Sharks. All of them on there, so that's pretty cool there. So let's let you go. Jerry, what's happening, bud? Good to have you here. Felix, great. That's great news this year. Great news. Parts of Alameda County had their evacuations lifted. That is great news, Felix. That's great to hear. Glad you're doing all right. And great to see a bunch of people in here. Appreciate it, each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. If you're new to us, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell that notifies you when we go on the air. That will be greatly appreciated. So, as I said about 5 years ago, let's talk about this game. Yes. Well, you know what? Usually, I save the later game for last. We'll get right to it because I know that's what you're here for, and I like to deliver for the people. All right? So, raise your hand if you thought Vancouver was just down, dead, and out after one game. Come on. Yeah? After that performance that they had against the Canucks, who, by the way, they had never lost to in regulation. I think we all knew that the Canucks were going to just be done in 3 and just forfeit game 4. I think that's what a lot of people were thinking, mainly a lot of the NBC broadcasters. So, you know what? That's why you play the game. I mean, seriously, who thought the game should have been over in Game 7 against the Sharks? Yeah, exactly. So, Vancouver and I will do this as very nicely as possible, so let me get it out of the way. Vancouver strikes first. Tyler Toffoli scores a minute 29 in on a wrist shot to make it 1-0 Vancouver. Toffoli had only played one game in the qualifying round, was injured. He gets inserted into the lineup by Canucks head coach Travis Green. Gets out there. I think the commentator said he was out there for 9 seconds of ice time. Makes dividends in. Gets his first of the playoffs. Pedersen and Hughes with assists. That 10th assist for each one of them in this playoffs. I mean, Vancouver is going to be a force to reckon with, and it's going to be really tough for the Sharks to get out of their division if they're going to go back to the playoffs. I mean, quite honest. So that makes it 1-0. And then, about the 11-minute mark, Bo Horvat scores. Pedersen and Toffoli strike again on the assist on that power play goal with a snapper. Horvat kind of was on a little bit of a struggle there for a little bit, but he gets his league tying 7th goal to make it 2-0 Vancouver, and you're like, whoa, this is kind of like the Canucks throwing Vegas's game right back at them. Because let's be honest, and insert your Martin Jones joke here, but when was the last time that you saw Vegas give up the first goal in the first 5 minutes of a game? I say not. But we all know Vancouver would let Vegas get back into it. Sleepy Mofo in the chat saying the sleep on the Canucks if they have Besser and Pedersen. I'm jealous Vancouver has them. Throw in Quinn Hughes. My goodness, Miami. He is going to be a special defenseman. Jerry F., it looked like to me like Vancouver in this game figured out a lot of the parts of the Vegas system. They did their homework. Absolutely. They realized, and I think they took a page out of the Sharks playbook, if you don't pay attention to Ryan Reeves, he's not going to get into your head. And because they paid so much attention to Ryan Reeves, the whole thing was, Ryan Reeves. Well, guess what the Sharks did last year? After Game 4, they didn't pay attention to Ryan Reeves. And look what happened. So, just another Randy G. Toffoli scoring for Vancouver still sounds strange. Yeah. And in this season where I think they had him for like maybe 2-3 weeks. Yeah, it's like, really? Toffoli's with the Canucks? It's like, really? Marleau was with the Penguins? It's one of those weird situations, but hashtag that's so 2020. Let's be real here, folks. Oh man. But then second period comes around. Vegas gets on the board. Alex Tuck makes it 2-1 Vancouver. 6:34 in the second with a nice snapper. And then late in the period, Elias Pettersson with a nice little dangle. We're not talking Steve Dangle, but a nice little dangle that beats Robin Lehner to make it 3-1. And, I still at that point, I'm thinking, Vegas is going to come back. They're going to get back into this. And then the third period begins, and then Bo Horvat scores 18 seconds into the third period. I'm like, what? Seriously? That just seemed... I was just surprised by that. To make it 4-1, and then it's like, okay, it's 4-1, but Vegas is going to come back around. Pacioretty gets a power play goal late with a minute and a half left to make it 4-2. Tanner Pearson puts in an empty netter with 30 seconds left, and that's all they wrote. Very surprised, but not surprised that they kept focusing on Marc-Andre Fleury. And then they magically were focused on Pete DeBoer. All I'm saying is, I might have Twitter notifications on for Alan Walsh after this game was over. I mean, I'm just putting that out there. It just seems like you're just setting up for Alan Walsh to say something, especially if Leonard gets a start for Game 3 on Thursday. It wouldn't surprise me. And if it does, oh my goodness. You're going to talk about a controversy if Leonard starts and has a poor showing. I don't know. Goat James, obviously a Vegas fan. We appreciate you coming into enemy territory. Vegas better bounce back in Game 3. I would be shocked if they didn't, be completely honest. Felix, you're getting ahead of yourself here, but, on that one. But, kind of sad that Pabs isn't leading in goals anymore, even though it was shared with McKinnon in his good company. You know what? Bo Horvat is having a breakthrough year in the playoffs. And granted, it's his first playoff appearance in 5 years, so he's time to shine, especially, no more Sedins, no more BX or that idiot, Alex Burrows. So, but don't worry about Pabs. He's got to get it back. He'll get it back. I think we all know that's going to happen. Come on. Sleepy Mofo is saying in the chat at the end of the game, the broadcast was totally trolling, keeping cameras on Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah, that wasn't a surprise at all, right? But that's none of my business. So Vancouver picks up the victory. The series is tied at 1-1. Game 3 will take place on Thursday. Now to the game earlier today that Felix was jumping the gun about. All good, Felix. Good to see you, bud. Glad you're safe. Now I'll put your comments in the chat on this one. Where is it? Wonder what would happen if teams didn't let Marchand get under their skin in the East. LOL. Right? Granted, Marchand is still a great player, so not sure if that's a great comparison. He's a great player, but he can also be a pest and also annoy the crap out of you. And thankfully, he is taking social distancing to a nice level without licking any opponents this postseason. Appreciate that. So, Tampa Bay, Boston. Again, Game 2, Boston hung on for a victory for Game 1. Game 2 looked like they're out to a great start. Nick Ritchie with a beautiful backhander beats Vasilevsky to make it 1-0. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. Boston playing their game, but Tampa coming on. And Blake Coleman with the nice finish to a great setup by Zach Bogosian. To make it 1-1, assisted by Barclay Goodrow. That's right, the Barclay Goodrow. It was a nice finish. Coleman was so excited he needed to make sure he put himself in the net on the play to get that goal in to tie it at 1. Second period, Marchand with his 5th on the tip on the power play to make it 2-1. And then Nikita Kucherov, about 55 seconds later, on a tip himself, his 3rd of the playoffs. Thank goodness Kuch has not been around a lot in these playoffs. Ties it up at 2. It's kind of interesting. They were tied 1-1 after 1. They were tied 2-2 after 2. Then they were tied 3-3 after 3. Blake Coleman gets his 2nd of the game, 3rd of the playoffs, on a nice little snapper that beats Halak. Halak has played very well coming in relief. Now, granted, Halak is a veteran goaltender who's been around a while, has done very well for himself in his career and in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and has done phenomenal work coming in for Tuukka Rask to make Boston still not be down, dead, and out like some people would probably say. But Coleman makes it 3-2 with 10:40 into the 3rd. And then late in the game, at about 3:58 left, Brad Marchand gets his 2nd of the game on a wrister. Great effort by Sean Corrali. And they show this post-game on the NBC broadcast of how he stayed in there and stayed in there, and I think they said it was about a 90-second shift. Really played a great play, keeping pucks in the zone, getting pucks out to his teammates when he was in trouble. It was nice to see all around to get that game tied up at 3. So Corrali making dividends for Boston when as he was one of the pieces for Martin Jones. Yikes. Then in overtime, Andre Palat buries home a wrist shot, 4:40 into overtime. He gets his first of the playoffs. Gordon Maroon with the assist. Tampa wins it. I'll spare you the Dave Michigan impersonation there. 4-3 to final. That series is tied up at 1-1 for sure. Overall, a great game. For Tampa, they really needed a boost back after game 1, out shooting Boston 40-25. Woo! It's been a long day, folks. Sorry about that. But, a great job all around for Tampa. They get this series tied at 1-1. To the chat we go. Let's see. Go James. If Leonard starts game 3, Peter Brewer gonna get fired. Should be interesting what happens in that one. I'll be really surprised. I missed that game. Looks like it was a good one. RBG. Shout out to Vancouver. Laurel. Yes. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Jerry F. I think Tampa's Boston series has a good chance to go all 7 games. You're right. That's going to be a great series. They're going to beat up each other and everything. And Philly and the Islanders going to be like, just go on. Just go on. We'll wait over here. Just go on. You go on. For sure. Just another Randy G. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat donation, a $5 super chat donation. If you don't know what a super chat is, it is a donation to our YouTube channel, which is essentially a donation to the website and the show that helps us cover costs on things that, like our SoundCloud and our Dropbox and everything that we use to make this a lot more productive, more fancier for you, per se. So thank you very much. I'm just really happy to have Hockey Talk tonight. Thanks for being on. Hey, Randy, appreciate you. I've been doing this every night of the playoffs. So glad I could be of some help. Glad to be more so, if anything, a distraction from everybody with everything going on. It's been a while. It's been 4 or 5 months without hockey, especially for us out here in Northern California and to those in Sharks territory. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it as always. RBG. I'm a temporary Canucks fan for good reasons. Now, RBG, I'm going to ask you this, and this goes for everybody in the chat. Which Canucks jersey would you get? Would you get the one with the blue one with the orca? Would you get the one with the big old rink in the middle, or would you get the black jersey with the skate? Just throwing that out there. I'm just curious as to what you guys would use. Laurel, me too. Short house. Only for also, what is with the slow line changes for sometimes for certain teams? Hustle the bench, you get your goal challenge for offsides. Yeah, Gabriel Landeskog. No, it happens. It happens. So, you got to be careful. It bit the Sharks in 0-4 in Game 1 of the Western Final against Calgary. It was probably the worst line change in NHL history. Set up the game-winning goal for them. So you got to be, especially in overtime where you have that long change like you do in the second. So, Sleepy Mofo asking, who designed the map that said all the West Coast is rooting for the Knights? Say any Pacific Division fan outside Vegas is rooting against them. You right. Especially anybody in California, that's for sure. Uh, oh, Laurel saying the white one. Why has it got to be white? To quote Hockey Jerk. Come on. RBG, I do like the blue green and the red orange yellow combo too, so it'd have to be one of those. Sharks first though, always real, always teal. That's for sure. That's for sure. Now, if it were me, if I had to get a Canucks jersey, it'd be that. It would be that fancy salmon red skate jersey that had the little gratings that went with the skate. I thought that for some reason that always sticks to me. It's so cool. Could I be teasing a Jersey Dragon draft sometime soon? Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout, my friend. My sis lives in Vancouver, and everyone is going crazy. She's slowly going to the dark side there. No, you tell her to resist the dark side. Resist the dark side. Resist the dark side. Jerry in a super chat. Thank you so much, Jerry. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, me too. I miss Sharks hockey, and it's great to see Teal 10 USA almost every night. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Literally a Midsummer Night's Dream. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it. Yeah, you got to have fun with this. You know, it's one of those unique things that would happen. And of course, Sharks aren't in the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, and we didn't cover it back then like that. But I've been having some fun with it. Hopefully, if you guys keep coming on, it might make the other co-hosts jealous that they might want to come on with me and make fun of me. I mean, hell, at this point, I will take the AOL jokes right now if you're coming from AJ and the gang. So, yeah, Jersey Dragon. Yep, we might be having something soon. Be on the lookout for that. More importantly, if you were to get a Canucks jersey, whose name would you get on the back? RBG says Markstrom because he's keeping the Canucks afloat right now. I like Quinn Hughes. I really like Quinn Hughes. I'd probably get Quinn Hughes on there. However, if it was that red jersey, that was back in the mid-90s, and a certain Sharks broadcaster wore that jersey, and that guy's name is Brett Hedican. So if I were to get that red one, it's getting heady on the back of it. So, what about the flying V red, black, and yellow? Oh, yikes. Yeah, those weren't pretty. There was one in the mid-80s where it had the V on the side, which kind of looks cool. But I don't know. You know what? Let me see if I can get these jerseys up, so that way you can see. Yes, we're gonna have a little bit of a Jersey Dragon here, folks. So bear with us here. You guys keep talking in the chat here. Let's see if I can do this really quick. I can already sense AJ watching this going, what the hell? Let's see here. So, if anything, this is the one I'm talking about. Boy, howdy, did that shrink. Okay, let's try it. There we go. That's the one I would get. Just how it goes so nicely with the skate with the gradient on there. That's the one I would get because it, you know, and then the. Let's see here if I could find it. I'm sure this is great audio with the feed right now. So my apologies. And I'm sure Amanda will get a kick out of this one because it says babe. So Amanda, if you're watching, it's for somebody else. So don't get too crazy here. So there's that one. And then I would probably go, if I would go even more retro, if it will let me. Let's see here. There we go. I kind of like this one as well. It's not the flashy V. They put it on the shoulders instead in front of the chest. I think that one looks pretty cool too. Indeed. The Heritage Classic. Yep, that one. That one's good. Uh, that one's pretty good, indeed. The Vancouver Millionaires, the one where Eddie Lack almost sharded in his pants, according to Roberto Luongo. Yeah, that one's definitely. It was a Babe. Yeah, it was a memorial patch for I think one of from a former player and such. I couldn't tell you what the that one. Jerry F, do you think Vancouver will think about changing their color scheme a bit once Seattle comes in with their shades of blue? The good thing is that Seattle didn't use the exact same colors as blue that the Vancouver Canucks do, and there was some thinking that okay, maybe they do change their colors just because of that. The funny thing is, the late '90s, early 2000s, Vancouver had a um, similar color scheme. They had like that super dark blue, a regular blue. It was more of a silver, not the icy blue that the Kraken are going with, and a red. So you could see that happen. But at the same time, could you go with red, yellow, and black? Because Calgary is red, yellow, and black. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I wouldn't be surprised, although Vancouver just changed their jersey just to have the orca in the front and doesn't have Vancouver on top of it. So, all right. So now that we've finished doing our jersey jargon talk, let's get you caught up on the brackets. We'll start with the Eastern Conference in the second round of the playoffs. Philadelphia and the Islanders will play tomorrow at noon. FYI, just a heads up, that is a triple header tomorrow. Oh, really? Oh, really? Um, that's interesting. Just another Andy G. We'll have to pull that up in just a second here. Um, the Islanders lead the series 1-0. They play Wednesday at noon. Later on that night at 5 p.m., Tampa Bay and Boston will play game 3 of that series. So you're going to be on the lookout for that. So both Eastern Conference teams will play tomorrow. Over in the West, Knights and Canucks are tied at 1-1. They will resume their series at 6:45 on Thursday. They get tomorrow off. But Colorado and Dallas don't. And Colorado and Dallas will play at 7:30 tomorrow. Dallas leads the series 2-0. Can Pavelski and the Stars move on? Can they make a 3-0 lead in that series? It remains to be seen on that one. So, which Golden Knights jersey would I get? Now, jokingly, I would say Goodrow 23. But I wouldn't be that mean. If there is one guy that I do like on Vegas, I do like Mark Stone. He's a great guy, great player. And Fleury is, as much as it pains me to say it because I can't stand how great he can be against the Sharks. He's a great guy off the ice. Really appreciate the type of guy he is. And because I mentioned Fleury, I'm going to have to bring up the Vlasic tournament picture with him being in a Sharks jersey, smiling like crazy. So, all right. Sorry about that. Forgive me, Goat. And I appreciate you joining us each and every night. Really appreciate it. Jerry F., it's difficult to follow a lot of these games in the middle of the afternoon when most of us have work. Yeah. No, I got it. I got it a lot. Is he whining about the rest about calling a double minor? Seems like he bitches a lot. Cough, it wasn't major. Promise it wasn't not the Rona. Oh, RBG. Yeah. And to be honest, Sleepy Mofo, I'm not surprised, but trolls suck too. I'm unsubbing for that puck? What? What do you mean? What? Which pitcher and Hernandez? Come on. Oh, come on. No. We can't let you do that. What is Marcia So's Instagram profile name. I'm curious to see if this is actually happening. I'm really curious. Oh, John Marchessault. Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna say he is. Wow. I can't complete some of this stuff up, but oh damn. I gotta say this to to the crew. I gotta send this to the crew. All right. So let me preface this as I don't condone cursing. I try to not curse as much as some of my co-hosts do, and I don't condone trolling too much. But one person did write an hour ago, "How's the Olympic diving career coming along since you since you like diving on the ice?" Marchessault responds back, "Shut the f, little d. Go suck on your mommy's tease and stop wasting my time." I'm sorry. If you want him to not just waste your time, don't respond to the trolls. Come on. I mean, seriously. You can't do that. You can't do that and just say, okay, moving onward. Um, and I love how the Knights players our Knights fans are defending him. Hey, you gotta chill here, eh? I mean, who do you think you are? There's always a good reason Florida let you go, but wow, there are definitely a lot more going on here. Laughing out loud. One person writes, "Can you stop diving? Jesus." Marchessault writes back, "As soon as you can skate properly, stop wasting my time." Again, Marchessault, really? You suck at hockey. This is great. So that is insane. That's this is just a crazy development here. Um, this is unbelievable. Kind of. Another person writes, "Do you play soccer? Your dog is ugly as you. Don't waste my time again." Okay, so again, Mr. Marchessault, this is ridiculous, man. Yo, you matter what, your kids won't be happy with seeing that language come from daddy. You spent less time doing. This is just this is bad. Yeah. Do you think he got hacked? No, no. I don't think he got hacked, and I just that just mm. Wow, that's crazy. So, there's an NHL. There's a page about him. NHL diving on Instagram, calling out for it seems diving. Yes. Bernard, are you covering the draft this year? Absolutely, we'll be covering this draft. And speaking of the draft, wait a minute. Dang it, I didn't have this set up, and I feel and I apologize. I was getting on Instagram to do that, and then the Marchessault stuff came out. So crazy development just within minutes, and I appreciate the chat you looking out for me on that one. So Thank you very much for that. For that quite entertaining. So yeah, that is something else. So wow. Now I just I need to have this on cue. There we go. So with that, speaking of the draft, there was a draft pick trade today. So Commissioner Kevin Lacey,
A trade to announce.
we have a trade to announce that occurred in the NHL earlier today between Toronto and Pittsburgh. I'm still trying to figure out where this comes into making sense for Toronto, or excuse me, for Pittsburgh. But because I mean, they get cap relief and they get a first round pick back. I mean, they literally their pick ended up being 13th. That's the one that they sent to Carolina as part of the Patrick Marleau deal. They get the 15th pick from Pittsburgh because they decided to give Minnesota their 2021 first round pick. So if you're Pittsburgh right now, let's be honest here. You you're giving up both of your first round picks this year and next year. You better be all in. The pressure is on now because now you are really giving yourself a rough time to rebuild. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. I don't know, but the trade tonight, and I apologize, no graphics up. Kasperi Kapanen goes to Pittsburgh along with Jesper Lindgren and Pontus Adberg. They go to Pittsburgh. In return, the Maple Leafs get Evan Rodriguez, who was more so in Buffalo most of the year, but he came in late. Philip Hollander, who apparently the Maple Leafs are high on, and David Warsofsky, along with the Penguins' first round pick in this year's draft. So they lose the 13th pick. They lose the 13th pick to get Marleau bought out, and they get the 15th pick back. But giving up Kasperi Kapanen to get a first round pick, that's pretty damn good. I'll say it. So always trust Elmer Fudd when it comes to should be very, very quiet. I got a trade to announce. If Pittsburgh is all in, would you trade on and above 32-plus-year-old D-man with a huge cap hit? Which one were you talking about there, Sleepy? It's interesting how much the Pens gave up when the Maple Leafs were looking to get rid of Kapanen. Yeah, I mean they save overall about $3.2 million in cap space. So it's interesting to see what they do. Don't they not have a pick in the third round in this supposed stacked draft? Ian Reed, good friend of ours and longtime contributor to this program, Ian Reed has said this is a deep draft, and I don't know. Let me look at Cap Friendly really quick and see what they say about Pittsburgh here, because I want to believe. Yeah, Pittsburgh has no first, no second round pick in this year's draft. Next, in 2021, they don't have a first, they don't have a third, they don't have a fourth, and they don't have a sixth. So Pittsburgh is all in next season already, and I don't know how, and there's already been rumblings that they are not going to spend to the cap. What? So we'll see what happens there. Did you hear about the Johnny Goodrow rumors to San Jose on San Jose Hockey Now? Sheng Peng runs that site. Go talk to him and go follow him on Twitter and at sanjosehockeynow.com. Great resource for all of us. Appreciate that he went out on his own. You know, do they go for Johnny Goodrow? I I don't know. He does not show up in the playoffs, and but who knows? Who knows? Sharks need winger depth. They don't have a lot of cap space. What is freaking what does he have? I'm trying to think here what his cap hit is. Johnny Gaudreau. He's got a $6.75 million cap hit through 2022, so 2 more years. That's a tough one to take because you know you're going to try to re-sign LeBanc. You need to find some sort of goaltender, whether it's a decent backup or just a filler in, and you have a couple of roster spots you need to fill. Are the kids ready, or are they going to be pushed up? I don't know. It'd be tough for them to pull that off unless there's cap space going back to Calgary. So Sheng's article shows how it can be done with the cap, and so I would definitely check that out on sanjosehockeynow.com. So, Marcia's comments been deleted since. Damn. I hope we got screenshots. I know I got one of them. Oh, man. Yep, no, they've all been deleted. Oh, boy. And that's why we take screenshots, folks. Who wishes Pucknologist was going next week? All right. Well, with that, we will get out of here. Appreciate a bunch of it. RBG, send those to me on Twitter. I would like to have those all. We have some great audio and video content. AJ spoke to Sonia Tydinko of NBC Sports California about behind the scenes of Sharks and A's broadcast, if I'm not mistaken, as well, along with how her dad wants to kick my butt at NHL 20, which probably would be too much of a problem for him. So check that out on there. Also, don't forget we did record a new Pucknologist on Sunday night with Rocket, AJ, and Hockey Jerk. So if you missed any of that stuff or you want to hear it again, check us out at tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you very much for watching. Probably one of our more attended After Darks during these playoffs. Please come back. Appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell to tell you when we do go on the air. I will be back with you tomorrow night following a triple header of games that starts at noon, 5, and 7:30. So until then, check out all our content on the YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on the social. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the donations in the super chat as always. And until tomorrow night, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. Be safe out there. Wear your mask and have a great night, everyone. We'll see you.